Hello everybody, welcome back. In modern day, when we can't talk in person, we have phones, smartphones that include FaceTime chat, we have text messaging, video audio messaging, voicemail, emails, and other apps for communication. Some people say letter writing is an outdated form of communication, but plenty of times I've noticed letter writing still being used to express emotion in ways that phone calls and text messaging cannot convey. A call text message allows instant contact, while a letter writing might take days, weeks, depending on the distance, plus the small purchase of stamps and envelopes. But there are times when writing a letter can absolutely be effective, and times when letter writing is not effective at all, in which case don't write. You have to understand and allow God to tell you when writing a letter is appropriate. Since we're on the topic of relationships, the question is, when is letter writing appropriate in a Christian relationship? Well, you got to give your life to Christ first, of course, and let God do the pursuing of that relationship for you. Don't use letter writing to pursue the relationship. In my case, I've actually had bad experiences writing letters. In my testimony series, I spoke a lot about my old toxic relationship from the past that God helped me leave in the past, and I'm very thankful that God helped me leave that relationship in the past. But back when I was in that stronghold, there was a time when she was in a rehab center that only allowed outside contact by mail. Early on, I found out that there actually was a release form that could be filled out for phone calls, but that form wasn't filled out for reasons I didn't find out, which adds to the toxicity of that relationship and adds to why I'm grateful that the Lord helped me leave that relationship in the past. But let's stay focused here. Since we had to contact each other by mail, I wrote letters to her. I got ready, I got my mind focused, and I wrote several letters. Sometimes I wrote some stories of the past, other times I wrote some updates, asked her for her updates, and she wrote me back too. She didn't write me back nearly as much as I wrote to her. And if you want to know more about why that toxic relationship didn't stick, see my testimony series. I elaborated a lot more on that in that series. But I was reminded of letter writing again last year when I was researching Christian relationships, watching relationship sermons, watching sermons all about love, relationships, marriage, family, what goes into all this when you give your life to the Christ. And one of the relationship sermons I saw spoke of couples who write letters to each other as a means of patience in a relationship. And this inspired me to write a few letters to another woman that I already talked about in my last live stream, Why Does God Remove Fellow Christians from Your Christian Life? She was connected to the parents that helped me give my life to Christ, and suddenly I thought there was relationship potential there, and I used a few letters as a means of pursuit. I already elaborated on this in that last live stream. So if you want to know more about why that didn't go as I thought it would, check out that live stream. To get to the point, it didn't work out. It didn't get started in the first place. Sometimes I think God wanted me to write those letters to get the rejection done and over with so that God could help me put my focus back on God. And with that, I say again, don't use letter writing to pursue the relationship. Don't pursue relationships at all, as I said in a short video that I did back in January. Interact with others, of course, and let God do the pursuing. And with that in mind, if you're already in the relationship, can you use letter writing in that regard? As I said a few minutes ago, couples who write letters to each other as a means of patience in a relationship, sure, absolutely. If you need patience, phone calls are getting too overwhelming, even seeing each other face to face might get too overwhelming, but you want to stick together and figure things out, including figure things out while you're not physically together. Yes, letter writing can be effective in that regard. You use letter writing to open your mind up, edit things out, figure out what you want to say, and give those couple days of waiting time to continue moving, continue working, continue figuring things out. And from there, God will let the two of you reach the proper outcome that God has in store for you. And if you're already married, there are plenty of examples of married couples who write letters and physically hand them to each other since they're living together. And that can be a form of cute playfulness in a marriage. We've seen that in plenty of Hollywood movies as well, for that matter. But before all this, you just have to let God direct you to know when writing a letter is better than texting or calling. And I'll leave it at that. I only have like 1 more minute to go. I can see the live chat, see if anybody has a question. Looks like nobody does. So if you have a question later, if you're watching this later, leave any questions in the comments section. I'll see when I can get around to answering your questions. And I will leave it there. Did you gain anything from today's live stream? Let me know in the comments section. Like and share if you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. Hit the bell if you want notifications. I'm creating for you. Have a great week and a great life, and always love yourself for who you are. God bless. Godspeed.